third set of maps for Send Lawyers to Hell is Hollow by Mr. Taters, and this is an interesting set of maps because he said that he's doing this to help him learn how to make maps as he goes. So the first map is genuinely his first attempt at making a map, then he does the second maps and attempt, and as he learns new things they'll evolve. Which I think is really interesting, and we'll see how it works. At the moment, you can see that we're in a very Wolfenstein 3D-ish, very blocky space, and we'll see if that evolves as it goes on. I think this is actually... Is that Wolfenstein 3D texture? It looks a bit brighter. Wow! Transformation there! You've already learned tons! First room looks terrible, but now we're getting somewhere. No, I try not to be negative on these streams, but well, let's be negative about my own ability to play Doom, shall we? Because I was an absolute sitting duck right next to that barrel. Now I'm going to have to make up for it. This is actually what happened to my employer last week. All right. Yeah, so I try not to be negative, but when there's such a difference between this and that, it's hard not to say that that room's kind of lackluster in comparison. This is looking a lot better. All right. So you've got some use of the vertical space there. Monsters that you can't reach but can shoot you. So your evolution is already impressive, I can tell you that. Look at that little fountain there. It's doesn't even look all that like another dimension invading, does it? It's just a nice little water feature. Oh, interesting here. There's a cable going to there or something? Interesting use of textures. That door can't be opened with no obvious indication as to why. Oh, there we go. Got some more interesting use of, you know, putting panels into the walls and texture. I see a pain elemental back there. That's going to hurt me if it gets there. Oh, spitting back Academon already. You know what? I'm just going to start this one again. So, let's do that without standing next to the barrel marked high explosive do not touch this time. There's a healthy mix of enemies here. You know, they kind of support each other. There's hit scanners, there's the projectile spawners, the imps, and the Cacodemon floating around. Makes it not obvious to know what to deal with first. Oops. I was so concentrated on getting rid of the shotgunner up there that I forgot there was also one in the corridor. That's unfortunate. Okay, so you can move that crate down. That's our secret. Okay, and that will help me a bit as I go through the level. Alright. Doing okay here. Not great, but okay. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to run away here and go... Oh, no, I can't. I thought that the grating might be able to let me shoot the pain elemental first, so that I'm not dealing with all the lost souls that he spawns. But here we go. Alright. As long as you keep right in the pain elemental's face, he can't. Well, I should probably say she, because she's laying lost souls. Honestly, I'm not sure. But they. What's the point of choosing? You know, they don't. They don't spawn lost souls as long as there's nowhere to put them. So if you get right up in their face, they can't fire. Now Now this is something I always say is that don't use SW2 switches, because if you consistently use SW1, then it's always obvious what you've switched and what you haven't. But you know, this is at the end of the corridor and it toggles, so perhaps that's not something worth talking about. There's a bit of misalignment here with the exit sign. If you just unpeg that texture, then it'll knock into place again. And it would be nice to have some indication that I have to get a red key in order to get through there, because at the moment it just looks like a normal door. So there's a soul sphere there. Looks maybe like I can open the wall on the other side of it. Yes, that's a great use of a very slightly different wall texture. Okay, but how do I get that red key now? Where have I not gone? I haven't gone there! That door that I complained I couldn't open. So it wasn't very obvious that that switch did anything to this door. I mean, by process of elimination you could work it out. It's not all that big a map, but it's nice to have some kind of indication all the time. Oh, there's a Cacodemon's just arrived. Let's get out of here, because I'm back down to my pistol, and I'd rather not be. How do I get up there? Ah, okay. Come on, come on, come on! Thank you. Let's maybe get some shotgun ammunition. Oh, plenty of health bonuses there. And I'm alive again. Okay. I do like the way that you keep the map interesting by keeping on adding these enemies. And this area here is entirely optional, because I could have just taken the red key and run, so that's a great use of optional areas. Now, what's this? Just a weird kind of altar thing. So there's a pew, and I don't know what that is, just to calmly watch the Toxics waste fall. Alright, back in the blood pool again. So I could... Actually, yeah, I will. I'll just get rid of that. And is there another one? Oh, there's another demon somewhere. But he can keep himself to himself, and I'll do the same. Ah. I'll just walk past you. Alright. Not a bad start, honestly. I thought the first map was going to be really simple when I started in that room, but it actually ramped up quite a lot. The Maw of Madness. Okay, let my computer just decide that it's going to autosave. I think I might have to replace this hard drive quite soon. Okay, you have started me off quite a bit more difficult than the last one, haven't you? This will be interesting on a pistol start, because you've got all the shotgunners to give you ammunition. But yeah, that'd be... I'm not sure how I feel about pistol starting that. Alright. Load up again. Great use of the Screaming Faces texture to give this weird otherworldly room. Another Revenant. This will probably hold him. Fortunately, that was one of those rockets that caused a minor flesh wound. Whoa, chain gunners! I've possibly been mauled by them before and I just didn't notice, which explains why my health is now at 8 points. Come on. Come on. It's like encouraging a dog to come out. No, I was very wary of stepping on that surface because it looked like molten lava. There's another Archvile. Being unlucky with the Archviles today. Looks like this might be my only option. No health around? There is no health around. Oh, I've made my situation worse. Where am I? Gotta be careful of any hit scanners here because they'll just instantly kill me. Ah! Where'd he come from? All right, let's do this one again. You know, considering these are beginner maps, they're reasonably challenging. Part of why I said I wanted to warm up with these beginner maps is because they're so much easier than the ones that veteran people do. But this is an exception, I would say. And importantly, not really for the wrong reasons. I mean, maybe I'm not really finding a lot of health on this map, and that's unfortunate. But really, it's not been totally unfair to me. I really need to improve my game of my barrels, don't I? Yes, it does hurt you. Okay, good to know. Right, so I suppose I've got to chain gun my way through this army of imps. Did this get me anything last time? Don't think it did. Just a little obscurity there. It's interesting. Oh, it's interesting, but not not very nice to have this very long tunnel towards an archvile, which means his line of sight attack is going to get you every time. Okay, help me out, shotgunner. Thanks. Okay. Attempt 3. Let's not mess this up this time. Trying to avoid using all my shotgun ammunition this time, because I feel that having some of it will be useful for that archvile if I can get up right close to him and try to finish him off that way. We'll see. Okay, let's save here. Hollow. So again, bearing in mind that this is the second map of the one that you made to teach yourself how to make maps. Oh, come on, I was miles away. Just as well I saved. Look, this is a nice... it's a nice attempt to vary things with an outdoor area, some marble, more hellish environment. People have said, of course, the usual advice, which is, of course you shouldn't make a Megawad as your first mapping project, just like you shouldn't make an RPG as your first game. But I think this is a nice way to avoid the perils associated with that you just want to make a Megawad showing your progress as you learn how to make maps, rather than making a coherent theme or saying that this is going to be a 100-level WOD and it's going to have this branching storyline and everything that other people who are new to programming games do when they don't realise what programming a game is like. Doing okay now. We've got some health pickups back, which I think we're kind of missing in the first half of this map. Well. There's a switch and a half there. And that's a common newcomer mistake. I did it all the time myself, and I don't know how I didn't notice that it didn't look all that good. So I thought there was a switch. Oh, there isn't. But there's a backpack just in that hollow. That's an interesting use of the secret, by the way, because it's not all that obvious from over here, but once you get on here it's very obvious, so it's just counting on the idea that you don't really have much of a reason to be up there in the first place. Alright. So there's a biosuit there, but there's no reason to use it at the moment. Let's head back this way, because... Oh, this is the place with the demons that I teleported into, isn't it? Might be. Oops. Hurting for ammunition a bit by now. Would be nice to have some more. Kind of just scavenging what I can off the human enemies. Ooh, I'm quite low on ammunition. If I get the auto map, I'll be hurt, but I can use the biosuit I saw earlier to counteract that. So this looks like... Is this the end? It does look like it's the end. There's some misalignment of textures there. It's not too bad, but just so you know. Let's see if I can get some of these secrets I missed by nabbing that biosuit. Where was it again? Behind the waterfall in here. Is there anything worthwhile in there? Or can I not get to it? Yeah, it's miles away. And just out of interest, what was through here? Yeah. Alright. It's a bit flat here. I'll say that. Could do a bit more with steps. Alright. Just as I sizzle. Are you not going to let me... Ah, okay. Was that marked? Now that is a secret, but I don't know how to actually open it. So that's interesting. This is nothing. I don't know what's going on here. None of them appear to be switches. Here's the second half of the map again. Looks like there's something behind this wall? Don't know. Oh, have I used that teleporter that I did before? I just want to... Oh, maybe that's the room with all the demons in it. Yes, okay, and that's the area I hadn't explored. Oh, my running away plan has failed. Whoops. Okay. Ultra thin sector there. Alright. So this next map, I'm not even coming into this from a pistol start. I'm coming into this from a nothing start. Looks like there's a secret just behind the entrance, which might afford me a bit more ammo. We'll see. Oh. Ah, you can't come over here, can you? Alright. Can we get back out? Yeah, I can. Oh! Ammo! 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 Shells! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Okay. Not sure if that's actually indicated, but, you know, it's nice to have. Maybe the indication of that secret is that there's no indication and you have to get the auto map to see it. I think that's a charitable compromise. Alright, Maw of Madness is finished. We're entering the underworld. Oh God almighty. Glad that I got that secret beforehand. If I don't shoot, he's not going to wake up. And this is... Hi, Ditherian, or Ditherian, I'm honestly not sure and I pronounce everything wrongly. So that Cyber Demon is now awake. The old chestnut of just running around waking everything up and hoping it finishes itself off. I'm just going to hope that that continues to work for me. I saw how to get up. I did see it. Oh, nasty! Alright, so let's maybe try that again, but with my newfound knowledge of this little New Kandor cranny. I'm just going to get absolutely slaughtered no matter what. Alright, let's try that again. No. No. There must be some kind of method to how I could potentially approach this. Oh! I was lucky with the first one. It was one of those rockets that delivered a small scratch on the nose. But not so much with the second one. Can I just go back down here? Oh, that was just the view of inevitability, wasn't it? Oh, I've saved over my Eternity save, which I called Evil Eternity because I typoed it when I first made it. That's something that's unfortunate about the GZ Doom save menu. If you happen to be retreating backwards when you put it up, sometimes you knock yourself down one more slot than you intended. Okay. So that's got rid of quite a lot of them. 36 out of 71. It's not great, but it'll do. Oh. That, Oh, I'm not allowed to go over there. I do beg your pardon. Oh, I can just do this instead. That's a bit weird and artificial. What I would suggest there is instead of having the rails just end, like I was originally going to complain about, put a little wall there. Ooh, nasty. So that, put a little wall there, you see? So that the rails can end on the wall and the wall blocks your passage into the lava shelf where you're not meant to go. Alright, so what did that switch do? Okay, I see it. Let's leave him alone and... Ow! Perhaps that wasn't such a good idea after all. Whoa, come on, you big bastard. Admittedly, not a taunt I would really use on him in real life. It reminds me of the, it's probably been taken out by now, but in early Brutal Doom where you had the middle finger option. And, because of the way it worked, because it worked by doing a specialist kind of damage, I think? And, so it was possible to flip a barrel off and it would just explode from getting too angry, because there was no check on what damage type it did. So am I gonna have to shoot you? The reason I ask is because I'd rather keep my ammunition, honestly. But I'm either too distracted or too stupid to find the proper way out while he's still there, so just going to rocket and plasma him until he eventually relents. Wonderful, okay. Aha, I see. I think. There we go, that's not very obvious. But then, I got out, so what am I complaining about? That was a very resilient chain gunner. Oh no, it was just because there was another one over there. Couple too many chain gunners, maybe there. It's not nice to be just pinned down at a door. So yeah, my thoughts on the first half of this map. It's probably okay. I don't know. I'm not usually very good at big fights, and that was even a medium-sized fight that happened to involve a cyber demon. But I don't know. It's definitely survivable. Bit of a surprise to do it for map 3. But again, this is just experimental maps, a collection of them. I've always found the Metal 2 texture, I think this is, to be rather boring and better suited as a kind of border rather than an actual texture in itself, but I don't know, I think the Doom 2 mod does it, so what do I know? Are there many more of you? Any more? So I'm not sure what the intent here was, but it is very easy to get rid of these barons after you've got rid of the pinkies. It might have been intended for the pinkies to all be in here and you have to fight them all at once, but that doesn't happen because you can just stroll out. If you were to put a lift about here that dropped you into the room, then that would cause that, but please don't. Again, it's not very obvious where the exits are in this WOD. Sometimes you need an exit sign or just some other kind of indicator or a consistent visual cue that you are going to go out the exit if you cross this line. I didn't find the secret, and frankly I don't want to spend any time on this map, so yeah, look at that. You could make this room a bit more interesting with some rounded corners or something. Oh, this is that's interesting, isn't it? Because it uses the intermission theme for the level, so it just continues going. Sewer of Flesh, who I'm looking forward to seeing at the next Ozfest. Whoa! Okay! That was a bit of a surprise. Okay. I'm going to need to adjust my tactics here. Oh, that's interesting. The exit texture at the end, as if you've come through one of those exit pods. Does this chainsaw work underwater? We shall see. Seems to be none the worse for wear. Oh, are these invisible imps? Ah. Oh, I don't really want to go back into the demon-infested waters. Here we go. Now, I can't remember if you have a oxygen limit by default in Doom, like you do in Quake. Well, of course you don't in Doom, because Doom doesn't have water, just sort of painted ground, but if you have it in GZ Doom is, I think, what I'm getting at. Alright, so the consensus in the community, just so that you know, is that if you have a stealth monster on your map, you have too many stealth monsters on your map. And the stealth monster, for those who don't know the editing background, is a monster that you can only see when it's firing or you're damaging it, otherwise it stays invisible. Now, imps might actually be okay in moderation, and now that I'm thinking about it, because they fire quite a lot, and are likely to give their position away. But if you do something like a demon, that well, you're worse than Hitler. What can I say? Okay, so this is going to be difficult with 2 Arachnotrons firing at me. Will it not slow down if I'm firing out of the water? I think the Mythbusters did that once. If you're a bit young, there used to be a good television program called The Mythbusters. Whoa! Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Mythbusters has only been off the air for maybe 2 years, 3 years. So if you're too young to remember it, then you're a toddler and you shouldn't be watching this stream anyway. Penny, if you're watching, stop watching and go back to your Doc McStuffins or whatever she's called. Something lowered there. Oh, it was that. That's nice. So, there are a couple of people on the stream now, so I just want to remind everyone that I'm doing this to raise some money for RACES, which is the charity for getting lawyers to the... Are you serious? For getting lawyers to the prison camps on the borders that are harbouring children. If you do want to donate, the donate link is visible on the stream, and I've dropped it into the chat room a couple of times as well. If you want to donate to that, give $10, suggest a WOD, or just anything that you want to. Give me a couple of WODs to play. I'm not going to be picky about this, but it is helping a very good cause. My employer is going to match those donations, so you'll get double your money's worth, which I think is very, very worth it. And it's also quite personally affecting to me as well, being an immigrant myself, and having an employer that's actually supplied some of these concentration camps. I said the C word. I don't care. Alright, so I finally got the blue key, and apparently I meant to use it on that wall that doesn't even look like a door? Is there any indication at all that that's the blue door? There is none. So put at least, a row of blue torches there. No, actually, forget that. Just... Oh, for God's sake! Alright. Yeah, so forget the advice of just putting blue torches around it. For God's sake, make that look like a door. Oh, sewer of flesh. And I'm at the waste tunnels, which means that I've... Oh, no, this is just called the waste tunnels. Alright. I thought I'd finished the contents of the WOD there, but looks like we've got another one still to go. Oh, that's nasty. Is that a... It's a damaging wall. Alright. Who's played Sigil? I have to shoot all of those now. Maybe it's a trap for people who played that and it wakes up those imps. Now, I don't know if I've just got my... Yeah, I do have my brightness turned down low enough so that I can't see those imps. I wondered if they were shooting me from behind a wall. You're not very big on actually indicating that doors require cards, are you? Yeah, that might be nice. Oh, missed. And this wall I can't move past, even though it looks like Doomguy should be able to fall off it. Oh, this... what happened there? Okay, so this sector went down. Alright. Okay, the sector work is a bit confusing there. And if you want to indicate that you can pull that one down, then using the support 2 texture or the plat 1 texture on there might be nice, because if I just approach it like this, it blends in apart from the steps there. Okay. How long is this map, by the way? 13 out of 67. Alright. Oh, look, you can see some use of the reflective floors there. You don't see many of them because it is oddly taxing on the graphics card for GZ Doom to do it. But it's a nice effect when it works. I was just trying to show you that things don't get reflected, but they do. So I think that's new since I last saw a marbly floor. Again, red card. No indication that I need a red card. Oh! Now, how did that happen? One of them must have hit a barrel up there. Usually, monsters of the same type don't hurt each other. And they don't even try to infight with each other. It's just a little unwritten rule of Doom. But there's a loophole in the form of a bug where if a Baron, or, you know, if Monster A hits a barrel and the barrel explodes, thereby damaging Monster A2, then the monster will correctly blame the monster for the damage and start hurting them. Alright, so what have I done now? There's that little shelf, a weird little shelf here. Okay, so I need to find this red key. Which isn't being very forthcoming. Not a lot of armor here. Oh, a bit of ammunition, which is a bit of a mercy at this point. Oh, come on! Ah! Alright, so, interesting use of barrels and toxic waste there. Let's see if I can do that any better. So, is there a rad suit anywhere? Because it is, while the IWADs do sometimes get you to cross waste, this is really damaging waste as well. It's a special sector that doesn't do the standard damage, but it does it on a much faster timer. You have to be aware that you are making a gate, and you've got to provide the player enough health to get past that gate. All right. I'm just trying to think what's the most. This is probably the fastest way to get rid of those barrels. Okay, so this is actually impossible at this point. I wonder if there's a rad suit, so I wonder if I meant to get the red key before that. But there's definitely no red key here. I don't know. Just gonna have one last check around. That lightning bolt symbol, by the way, that's there's usually this law in Doom map making that if you have that lightning bolt symbol isolated on a wall, then it's got to be a secret. But not this time. Oh, this will give me maybe 2% more chance of survival. We'll see if it does. Right. Chain gun again. This time I'm not going to light the fuse. There! Okay! Some more damage for my troubles, thank you. And that's the end. Okay, so I wasn't meant to do it that way. Alright. Entering the Crusher. And this is actually the Crusher from Doom 2, so that's the end of this WOD. But let me just go back and see if I'm missing something. Because that requires a red card, even though it doesn't look like it should. But neither does the door. Is there a switch here? Or somewhere I'm missing? No. That's the door. The door's a bit weird, by the way, because it just becomes blank, but maybe this is hellish architecture coming into play here. If I just illegally fly up to there... Where does this lead me? That leads me up. Just trying to find where the red card is. No. I don't think I'm going to find it, so that's a little bit of an unsatisfactory end to this WOD, but it is still a work in progress, so hopefully some of the observations that I've made will help out on this one. And I do kind of like the idea of a roller coaster ride here, but I think it could be perhaps a bit better executed. Just like I've been, so... and on that note, thanks very much for Hollow so far, and I might come back to this as it grows.